Right, here is the first exercise in your lab, and this is a UML diagram, Unified Modeling Language diagram, okay? And what it does is it represents diagrammatically inheritance. So you have basically a square or rectangle here, vehicle, which is the class vehicle, and you have the class bicycle. And then the top rectangle is the name of the class vehicle. And this minus means it's private. So in code, that would translate to private int speed. And this would be private string color. And it doesn't mention any setters and getters, and it doesn't mention the constructors. Okay, down here, how you'd read this is plus means public, so it would be public void turn left, public void turn right. Okay, and the same principle down here, except you're dealing with doubles, ints, and voids, and different variable names and different methods. So I should stress actually that the second box contains the variables and the third box contains the methods. Anyway, let's just actually do one example. I'm going to do vehicle and bicycle, and it'll make it a lot clearer, right? So you can refer to this diagram when you're looking at the video. So here's the vehicle class. So what I did from the diagram, I created my two variables, which is in the second box. And then by just right clicking and doing source, etc., I created one constructor. And then I set getters and setters for speed and color. Okay. Also, what was mentioned in the diagram was a public void turn left and a public void turn right. So this translates to that. Okay. Now, the bicycle. Now I've a slow typer, so I've put in some of the stuff. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to inherit bicycle, vehicle that inherits from bicycle. So in other words, this bicycle needs to inherit from vehicle. So how do we do that? Right, so in order to do that, we use the keyword extends. And we want to extends vehicle. Okay, so the next thing I suggest you do is very similar as before. We're going to right click and we're going to go source, generate constructor using fields. Now, this is slightly different in that it's picking up the constructor in vehicle. So I have one constructor in vehicle and it's picked it up. If it had more, I would have a choice, drop-down choice here. So just keeping it simple at the moment. So I'm just going to take this default one here and select the other two here from bicycle. So generate. So now what's happened here is it's created this big constructor and it's taking 4 parameters. 2 of the parameters will be handled by what's inherited. In other words, this super keyword refers to the class it's inheriting from, vehicle. Okay, sometimes called a superclass. So vehicle has a constructor which takes 2 parameters, speed and color. Bicycle is now going to use for this parameter speed and this parameter color is going to use the inherited constructor. And for tire pressure and number of gears, it's going to handle that itself in the bicycle constructor. So between the two of them, it'll do all 4. Okay, next thing you're going to do is right click, source, generate getters and setters. Choose the 2, generate, right? And you'll notice that it was also ring bell in bicycle. Okay, so I just wrote it out there, so save me. I'm going to type it. Right, so I've created the bicycle class which inherits from vehicle. I basically right clicked and source and it actually generated all the code. I only had to write this bit of code here myself. So in the next video, we're going to see if bicycle actually did inherit all the methods from vehicle.